Alright, so of course I have to adjust the camera because that's just the rule. So I'm going to share something with you guys today. My personal problems, whatever. Which, you know, pale in comparison to real person problems. But one of the only factors in my life that I look forward to, that I actually seem to enjoy, that punctuates my existence anymore out of everything, because just everything else has kind of dried up, has been my dancing. And unfortunately, I seem to have, over the last couple months or so, really damaged my feet. There are little bands around them right now in the hopes that that does some good. It's just, I do these leaps, I do lands, sometimes my ankle twists a little bit, and it's causing problems with my tendons. This is the kind of shit that, again, normal people can cope with just fine, right? They go to a doctor, they get things resolved. Maybe they're in a cast for a little while. For me, I'm coming to the decision that maybe I have to do that. But I haven't been to a doctor outside of having been hospitalized, for an illness that came from my wisdom teeth and a bad infection. I've been on, insurance, good insurance, since I started working a real job, which means, not that long, but, I don't know, probably 13, 14 years now, whatever. And before that, actually, through school, I was on good insurance as well. But go back before that, and it starts getting a little bit more iffy. But, yeah. In all that, I don't know how to cope with a doctor anymore. I know that I have to go look up and see what doctors are in my coverage net, and then I'm not allowed to just go to what I need, which is a podiatrist, but I have to make an appointment to go see and get some kind of gatekeeper doctor who lets me go to the kind of doctor I need, and I have to pay at each of these steps and everything like that. And generally I've just been like, well, I'm too healthy, unless it's really terrible, I'm not going to need to do that, right? But given how important the dancing is for me, and I just don't feel like I can do it, and keep ruining my feet and end up a cripple, because I am having trouble walking at this point, and there's pain all the time in both my feet, honestly, but my left foot is much, much worse. It feels like I have to do that. But on the other hand, this is the guy who can't get a carpenter to come to his house, If I know how to cope with something, like I knew how to cope with a dentist. I looked up the list of dentists that, are covered. I can go to the dentist. That's a dentist. That's the person who's going to take care of my problem with my teeth. I figured that out. That wasn't as complicated. And another thing is, both dentist and for the eyeglasses, the eye doctor, I looked up one that's covered that I had gone to before many, many years ago. And, that's something I've got in my comfort zone. But this shit is not, It's one of the things that I kind of, I'm sure it'll be fairly easy. But then there's also this terror and the dentist was not easy either, because I had great fears there. There's this terror of going to a doctor, finding out things are bad, whatever bad may mean. So does it mean I have to be in some kind of cast? Even if there's no surgery or anything, there's a fairly good chance they're going to want to put some kind of restraint on my foot or something. Or that I'm not allowed to dance. I actually took this week off. First time I've taken a week off since I moved to Eugene. When I was in Phoenix, dance was get as it can. One of the things with Eugene is when I was first here, I started discovering that I could do leaps. Most of the places that I danced in Phoenix, there just was not room. The places that were large enough for it were too packed. Where I am now, I've managed to get enough of, I don't know, a status of like, yeah, we're used to it. So I have my own little corner where I can do my own thing, and sometimes early in the night it's empty enough that I can do some stuff. But I don't even know if it's the dancing that hurt me. You know, I've taken a couple of falls where I might have twisted my ankle. The last straw was really climbing steps. Once running to get tea, I had a bad twist on my ankle. But I've had a couple while I'm dancing as well. And again, the leaps, the landings, maybe I'm not doing them as well as I could. And whatever's happening, it's all, you know, it's put me in a situation where I just cannot. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I did go dancing, knowing that I was in pretty bad shape. I tried to limit myself, and I just couldn't do it. I like to do my spins up in the air and stuff like that. And, you know, I thought I could just keep it to footwork on the ground. And I'm not even sure that would help, you know, because I do a lot with my ankles, and I'm just not sure what it is that's doing the damage or whatever. I'm pretty sure I can't do it in a cast though, or a boot or anything like that. Whatever. But I don't know. I wanted to talk about this. I'm not sure why. Probably to avoid playing Vietnam. Came up here to play, had a little bit of a rant about the game, and then said, you know what? I should talk about this because it is impacting me a lot. It's setting my worries a lot. But, you know, again, something that requires 2 hops, I have to make an appointment, go hobble out to see a doctor, and then find a podiatrist that way, you know, a recommendation that maybe somehow, and I have no idea how this even happens, how they align me with someone who's in my network, you know, all that shit. Insurance is just too complicated. There's one reason why, you know, I support these people who are like, let's just get rid of the fucking insurance industry and make it a government thing, is because I can't figure this shit out. It used to be easy. You used to just be insured. You didn't have to worry about who you went to or whatever. And I could pay a fortune to get that. But that didn't used to be what it was. You know? It didn't used to be a fortune. Now medical expenses have gotten so high. And I'm a cheap person. I go for the cheapest thing. So anyway, from a personal standpoint, I have my own bias towards, you know, socialized medicine or whatever. But also, I don't even know that would help that much, you know. It's still a complexity. Like I said, I keep trying to get this out. I can't get fucking carpenters to come to my house and put my walls back together, you know. I really am someone who needs someone capable of doing stuff like that. Now, long ago, my ex-wife used to do that. My current wife cannot do that for me. I'm more capable at doing that kind of stuff than she is, and I am incapable. And it's just, it's painful. It puts me in this chaos and misery, and I have no idea what I can do about it. And, you know, but anyway, this is sort of the biggest thing on my mind right now. That's really, you know, I am often feeling, you know, my stomach is sick thinking about what has to be done, what's going on inside me, you know, physically inside my body, the steps that I'd have to take to deal with this. And I'm just paralyzed by all of it. And none of this is, you know, at a high level or anything. None of it's really, I mean, there's no way anybody can help me. It's just that I feel that maybe voices that are crying out with this, the world is too fucking complicated for many of us, means something. Just to understand the kind of difficulty some of us have, and that we face, and that, Jesus, it's so damn impossible to face the things that need to be done. And normal people, from what I can tell, can handle this kind of shit, right? They can make a phone call or two and get things arranged. They don't arrange their life so that they have to hobble down a hill when they're injured, and can actually, either they have a car, or they can call a cab and do that. But that cab, that adds a third phone call to this whole thing. Maybe a fourth one if I want to go home. It's just all this complexity that just is so paralyzing to cope with things that other people have simple. For me, what's simple? What's simple is fucking walking an hour and 15 minutes to the store, and then dragging a goddamn 120 pounds of groceries up a steep hill for another hour and 20 minutes. Not all up the hill, but a good deal of the walk is uphill, That's easy for me. That's what I'm used to. It's just, the things that some people find trivial, other people don't. I don't know and understand other people's challenges, but the world is more designed to revolve around their needs than someone like me. And they're just, again, this is the kind of thing that I've said with the, getting people to do things at the house, to work on things. I really wish that there was some kind of, hey, so there's somebody there who can fix my leg, there's somebody who could fix my car if I had one, there's somebody who can do my plumbing, whatever. I wish there was somebody out there, maybe who can't fix me, but a service out there that can say, you know what, we understand that not everybody can handle all the little shit in their life, and you can hire us to do that. And it's gotten worse, I was better at this when I was very much younger, when I was in my first undergrad degree, for example. I would cold call stores to make an appointment to go in, sell product to them, essentially. I would advertising product, but I was able to do things along that line. But you know what? I was never able to do it for me. I'm able to still do it at work. I'm able to contact people and say, hey, I need this for my work, because that's not for me. When it's for me, there's this barrier. It's much, much harder to cope with. But when it's something that's impacting, my duty to work, I have no duty to myself, right? I am me. I cannot have duty to me. Anyway, I just kind of hope that, I don't know, that this is of some value to somebody for some reason. But at least babbling about it helps me a little. All right, ciao.